Hello flosstube, this is AM, Dreamingstitcher. August seemed to be passing me by without my having put up a video yet, and I just found out that my sister will be visiting again next weekend, so it looked like if I was going to put one up this month, today needed to be the day. So here I am to bring you my cross-stitching progress, let you know what I've been up to for the past month or so. I am thinking that in the future I may not make regular monthly updates. What I have in mind is that I will come to you in a given month only if I have a finish to show. And if I don't have a finish, I may postpone until the month after. When I started these videos, it was because I wanted to add some content because I so enjoyed watching flosstube videos myself. I thought even if my videos are a bit mediocre, there's something for people to see. They haven't attracted a whole lot of attention or interest. That's not a big issue, but I just don't see that, you know, all of these videos, everybody that does them can tell you they take time, they take some energy, they take some organization. And I'm just thinking if I don't have a lot to show, there may not be a lot of point in me coming on in a given month. So this month it will be short. I have a finish for you, not fully finished. I'm not requiring myself to do fully finished, but I have a finish and some progress and 3 acquisitions. So let me get right to it then. The finish is the one I showed you at the start, that I started at the beginning of July. It was this not Bernat, that's my carousel horse. It was this Bucilla, my first stitch piece. And I told you I began it at the beginning of July and was not impressed with how stiff the fabric is. I did get it done in spite of that. It was not a difficult design. There were some differences between the stitched model and the chart. I believe I stuck with the chart. And I'm trying to live up to the motto if I can. I think it turned out reasonably well. I would not be in a great rush to go out and do another my first stitch from Bucilla because of the fabric issues. I would have to really like it, and I thought I really liked this one, and I still hated it at first when I was stitching. So yeah, I would not. I've seen at least one that I was rather attracted to, but I can't say I love it enough to go out and wrestle with this fabric again. Anyway, there it is, all done up. I will at some point get it washed and ironed and probably framed, and then I'll have a fully finished object. The other piece that I have some progress on, and I have a feeling the light today is not good. It looks like we're getting some rain clouds out there, so my apologies if this is not going to bring out her bright colors. But this is my Bernat piece, my carousel horse, and she is nearly done. I'm down to the backstitching, French knots, lazy daisies, that kind of thing. There's quite a bit of that still left to do. I have to do the outline of the saddle, do the pole, do the ribbons coming off of her legs, do the borders, finish her mane, yeah, some bit of green in the garlands, plenty of stitching left. But to give you an idea of what it will look like when she's finished, the bottom border is nearly done. This half is finished, but I thought the lazy daisies were kind of a disaster. Sometimes I have no problems with those, and sometimes they just are a wreck, and these I thought were a wreck. So I haven't done them on the other half yet. They're going to go where those yellow French knots next to the lonely turquoise flower are. So I'll probably tackle them all at once and hope that they turn out better than the ones on the other side did. I think I've kind of slowed down on her because I don't really feel that backstitching and such is as rewarding as putting down full crosses and half crosses, because when you do those, you're starting with a blank fabric that you're filling in. So every stitch you put down, you feel like you're making progress because you're filling up that canvas. And when you are putting the later stitches, things like back stitches, you're just adding stitches on top of stitches, and you don't see the same kind of forward progress that covering blank fabric gives you. They are very necessary, they're very important. I guess you could say they're the icing on the cake, but they just don't give me the same sense of accomplishment that straight out cross stitching does. So I'll keep at her, and because she is close to a finish, I may be able to come back to you next month, because she might be the finish that gives me a good excuse to come online and show you what I've been doing. Okay, I did tell you I have 3 acquisitions, and I'll try to show those quickly so that we don't bore you too much. All 3 of them came from eBay. The first one that I received was a pre-owned kit that I was not familiar with, but I saw it online and immediately thought, I like that a whole lot. I want to do that one. And it is this Monarch Horizons kit with koi. And I've done searches before for kits with koi and goldfish and such, but maybe it's because they were spelling koi with a K-O-Y that I never found this one before. But I like it. And I always take a bit of a risk when ordering online with pre-owned kits, especially when they say it's open but everything's there. I think everything is there. I can tell that the previous owner had actually planned to start it, because this was not my doing. The previous owner divided up all the flosses, put them in baggies with the name of the color and the symbol according to the chart given. I did check the chart and count strands and check color names against what these colors appear to be, and it looks like it's all there. I think we're good. I am not equally sure that the fabric with this kit is the original fabric, because normally in a kit the fabric is folded fairly proportional to the size of the packaging, and this one's tiny. I think perhaps the original fabric was taken out, used for something else maybe, and they put this in. The packaging does say that the design size is approximately 8 by 12, so one would need to add additional fabric to that if that's the design size. And this does measure greater than 8 by 12. So I think that it's going to be fine. The piece should fit with your usual somewhat stingy kit size borders on it. I do believe I might need to wash this before I start though, because the fabric does seem to be a little stained and dirty in places, dingy, got marks. So I'll probably need to do something about that. I am telling myself that, and one reason I'm showing you these 3 acquisitions is because of what I'm telling myself. I'm telling myself that since I'm trying to live up to my new motto of being satisfied, if I go out and buy something new like this, I have to pledge to start it within a reasonable amount of time after purchase, say 30 days or so. So last month when I came to you, I didn't have these 3 items. I have them now. It means I probably need to start them soon. Now, I don't want a lot of starts. I have 7 works in progress already, including that carousel horse. I don't want to have 10, which is what I would have if I start these 3. But if that's what it takes to motivate me not to purchase, that might be something I need to start doing. So I believe that I may begin those as my next projects. We will see. It's not set in stone, but it's possible. Okay, the second acquisition is this Riolis kit, which I admit seeing in a catalog. It was either Hirschner's or the Stitchery, and their current sales coupons, whatever they had, were not sufficient to tempt me at the price they had. So I went online out of curiosity, and again at eBay I found it at a price I was much more willing to pay. And it does have that kind of simple Asian aesthetic that I like. Obviously not a simple piece though, because to get it finished it's going to have all kinds of back stitching and tassels and French knots, and I was just saying on the carousel horse that adding the top stitching does not feel as much like progress as cross stitching does, but I will suck it up and do it because I like this. I like it a lot. I am a little concerned about the fact that unlike the ones marketed in America, this Rioli's kit does not have prominent English language on it, but the floss is all divided for me. Let's cover up that chart a little bit. The fabric doesn't quite match the shades of green that I've seen in the photographs of the piece, but that's alright. I'm still going to like it, and it does have some English instructions down here, so I think I'll be okay. I like that, and it's small, and we'll see how it goes. And my third and final acquisition, I was very pleased to get. I had actually seen another copy of this kit around the time I got my carousel horses. To remind you, this is one of 3 that I got, and they varied a little bit in price, but none of them were terrifically expensive. This one was again a pre-owned one that was, the package was already open when I got her, so that's why I started her right away. I wanted to be sure all the contents were there, and so I divided up the flosses and made sure it was all intact and went ahead and started stitching her not too long after that. This kind of goes with those horses, and when I first saw it, the seller advertised the kit I saw as being rare, and so the price was accordingly much higher than I had paid for the horses. It did say or best offer, so I put in an offer, and they sent a counter offer, and I put in another offer, and they sent a counter offer that was higher than their first counter offer, so I dropped the whole deal and didn't purchase it, and they sold it at the price they were asking to someone else. So when I recently saw this, and the bid price was starting out much more reasonably than the other person's buy it now price had been, I went ahead and put in a bid, and I did win, and the bid with the shipping about added up to my original offer on the other person's copy of this kit. Still much more than the horses, but this is the thing I'm babbling on about. It's another Bernat carousel animal, but instead of being like my 3 horses, it's a lion. I like the lion. You probably can't see it nearly as well as you should to appreciate it, but I'm happy I got it, and I think it's going to go great with my horses. And there is a possibility that when I start this one, I might make a video showing the division of the flosses, just because some beginners to cross stitch might hesitate. It's so much more common these days for the kits to come with the floss all divided and ready for you to go, and so many of the wonderful older things are like this that I might make a video showing me dividing all that up. Anyway, it's not hard to do, and most experienced floss tubers won't need to watch that because they already know what they're doing. But that was my third acquisition. So, am I being satisfied? I think so, because that lion makes up for one I had tried to get way back when I bought my horses, and I'm so glad to have gotten it. The koi are something I've been searching for a while. Not that particular one because I didn't know it existed, but I'm not disappointed in myself at all for those 3 acquisitions, and I am going to try very hard not to keep buying more in the future because I've got so much to do already. Anyhow, that's really all I have for you this month. I have not got a lot going on. I'll check this and try to make sure the lighting isn't too terrible, because it does seem very dark in here. Thank you very much for watching. If you are a subscriber, thank you so much. If you leave comments, of course they're appreciated. I did have one commenter ask me about my not ever showing my face, and I put it down to kind of social media paranoia. But I was also reminded, as I was signing the annual paperwork that we get from my employer regarding policies, that my employer is not completely on board with too much social media use by its employees. It feels that we are representative of the organization, and one of the policies actually states that we will kind of monitor our social media use and be sure that we never put anything online that would reflect negatively on them. And so if I let drop some 4-letter word and you can't 100% say that's me because you can't see my face, I'm probably better off for it. So yeah, as long as I am working there, I'm not likely to ever show myself, even if I do get used to this whole social media thing. Anyway, I think that's all I've got for you this month. I will come back next month if I have a finish. I will show you what I've been doing. I can't even begin to predict what that will be. I don't make my plans that far ahead. I just hope that I'll get a little more done than I did this month. I feel like not a lot's going on with my progress this month, but maybe it's because of that backstitching. As I said, that never feels like progress. Anyway, thank you so much. I hope that you find plenty of other good flosstube videos out there to watch. I hope you have a great month. I hope things are going well for everybody. And thanks again for watching. Bye-bye.